Don't you just hate it when a global pandemic sweeps the nation and ruins all your plans? Well, so do the people in this video that I'm going to be showing today. These people decided they wanted to protest a fence that was put up to keep people from going onto the beaches in this area, Orange County to be specific. Um, and, police show up as they would, and these people have a lot to say about it. Very peaceful, very peaceful. These people. I'm not being sarcastic about that at all. Actually, they were pretty peaceful, but at the same time, they just said some outlandish things during this whole thing that was fucking stupid. Let's get right into it.
I'm about to walk behind this fence here and go in and start to unscrew some screws here and take this fence down that has been in violation of our constitutional rights for several weeks now.
What constitutional right do we have that says that we can go wherever we want? Because I promise you, that's not a constitutional right we have. There are areas in the U.S., me being a citizen of the U.S., where you cannot go to because they are off limits, and especially during a global pandemic, where the government can kind of just sit down and say, you know what, you little shithead, we can do whatever we want right now, and we can close off any area we want because people aren't following protocol and following the restrictions and causing this big issue that could be easily, just over time, just dealt with instead of people just, waiting it out, riding out the storm, they are just being dumb and wanting to reopen the US and do all this stuff and go wherever they please. Also, you're going to notice all of these people are very, very white and very, very Republican. I usually don't like to bring, the fact that someone's white into something or the fact that they're Republican into something, but it shows heavily in this. They, it's so heavily shown in this video how white and Republican all these people are, especially some of the chants that they have in this. It's like their chants are ridiculous. The things that come out of these people's mouths, it's like I don't understand where these people's mindsets are.
This fence symbolizes tyranny in this community.
How so, my friend? How does that fence symbolize tyranny? What that fence symbolizes is it symbolizes the amount of dumb fucks in the United States of America who can't get the grasp of reality. And I wish these people would just kind of sit down and just think for 20 seconds, which would be a lot for these people, because all these people are dumb. Like, just them being there in the first place, dumb. But, like, all of the actions that they take, just dumb. And all of the arguments that these people make are just dumb. Like, these people don't put any brain power behind what they're doing, and it feels so bad to be related, like, in any way to these people. Like, not blood related, but like nationality wise, like it sucks that I have to be associated with these people. I talked to a friend of mine who is Finnish, and basically he brought up some good points that, or he kind of explained why most of the world hates the US and all of the people in the US, and I have to agree, it's kind of true.
A group of people here are your natural allies, and they love you. Yeah. Absolutely love you.
I'm just gonna say, if you really actually cared about these police officers, you wouldn't be doing this whole issue, you wouldn't be doing all of this, because all you're doing is forcing them into a situation where they have to be around people who probably have some sort of coronavirus-esque disease. They don't even have to have coronavirus, they have some whole other disease just called stupidity that they can spread to everyone. Like, if you really want to help these officers out and you really care about them, don't be doing stupid shit like this. It's simple as that.
So if you'll be so kind we're going to make entry and do the right thing. Kind of like the guys in the Tea Party did back in 1776 time. Only we're not wearing Indian costumes.
The difference between this event and the Boston Tea Party is the people who did the Boston Tea Party were fighting for their like freedom from the British. You people are fighting to spread the coronavirus. Not the same thing at all.
Yeah, they are.
So there are two things I want to mention with this clip. First thing is, as you can see with our camera lady, who you'll see later, panning around the crowd, everyone is white. Everyone is white there. And I can say for certain they are definitely probably like hillbilly white, just because of how they act. Redneck white. And the second thing is, these guys are yelling, "Oh, stand down, officers, stand down." It's like, no, you are publicly breaking the law, quote unquote civil disobedience, which you'll hear one of these people yell out, which isn't true. Well, yeah, no, it is civil disobedience, but these people are breaking the law. They should be arrested. Simple as that. They already should be arrested because of where they're at is actually a part where they have to hop over a fence. I cut that part out of the video because there was just nothing really happening in between that part and this part. And this is like a 30-minute video that I wanted to cut down as much as I could. I had to watch the 30-minute video twice because of how much I wanted to cut out. It was really hard to find things to actually keep in because it's all just jumbled nonsense in the first place.
Take it down! Take it down! Take it down! Take it down! Woo!
Build the wall. Build the wall. Oh, wait. Wrong chant. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
So if you recall earlier, we reported on the fact that there were some fence ferries that had taken the couplings off of this erected fence. And this morning, city officials had come and replaced all those couplings.
So she talks about a event that doesn't happen in this video at all, or that she doesn't talk about in this video up until this point, where apparently a group of people came and took all the couplings off, which hold the fence together, and city officials had to, of course, replace them because they want to keep this fence up to keep people and discourage people from going into the beach. Now, later on in this video, you're going to hear a guy talk about taxpayer money and him complaining heavily about how this is an area that the taxpayers pay for and that they should be allowed to be there. Well, I'm just going to preemptively talk about it. If you care so much about your taxpayer money, then why are you doing stuff like this? Because you know that even if you took down that entire fence, the government would just come back in and say, okay, well, they took it down once, we'll just rebuild it with taxpayer money. So, you played yourself. Good job, buddy. So I really want to quickly mention, this person right here is the leader of this whole organization and all of this stuff. His name is Alan Hostetter. I could not find any information on him except for the fact that he does these protests and stuff like that, and he is very like-minded with all of the individuals who are at this protest and this fence destroying thing. I just wanted to add that really quickly because I don't remember if his name gets mentioned or not in the video, or at least the parts I left in. This guy also, I do know that he was a sheriff, because they do mention it in this video. He was a sheriff for a length of time. It sounds like he was a sheriff for a long while. I couldn't find any information about how long he was a sheriff for. but this guy kind of he's in the beginning. He also mentioned I cut the part out because I didn't really think it was necessary for my point. He talks about how he respects the police and stuff like that. And later on, someone's gonna be like, "Oh, 8 years in the sheriff's department, and this is how you treat him," because he gets arrested. And I think he should have got arrested at this point. Like, he's already destroying public prop or yeah, public property. He's taking this down. He's trespassing. There's a lot of things that the police officers should have already stepped in and arrested him for. And I don't believe this guy is really the most intelligent person, but he is one of those people that can get a cult following behind him. And that's the scary thing, is being a person like him, he is able to kind of bolster these people around him who can just share in the dumb ideas that he has. And that's a really scary thing. Stupidity is a shared disease, not a single disease.
Yeah, you can open it. Come on in.
Come on in. Let's go.
Parking lot never looked so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet your trailer home doesn't look too good either, huh?
There it is. One gate is open. As you can see, they've opened up one channel already. And the let's strip in there. And people are entering. One comment was, "I've never seen a parking lot look so beautiful." Behind me, Orange County deputies are still standing by. This event is peaceful.
So here's our famous news reporter, a very lovely, lovely woman who really doesn't do much except for repeat everything that's already been shown, which gets really annoying because what she'll do is she'll record just like what happened here, exactly what happens, turn to the camera, say exactly what just happened, like you don't actually have eyes, and then complain about something. She also interviews a couple of people. One person when he's about ready to be detained for breaking the law, but gets off because he decides to leave, and she tries to interview a couple other people while they're being arrested. Honestly, this lady is just kind of I don't know if she's a part of this group or if she's just kind of there to record what's going on. I have no clue, but I bet her name's Karen. Just saying.
I'm weak. I can't do it by myself. Orange County deputies are.
I need you to stop doing what you're doing, otherwise we're going to have to place you under arrest. Okay?
I understand.
You understand? Okay. We ask that you surrender peacefully. Just turn around and place your hands behind your back, okay?
Okay, but I was gonna stop.
You're going to stop from this point.
Can I walk away?
I will let you walk away at this point, okay? As long as you stop doing what you were doing. Do you understand?
I understand.
Okay, we understand what you're up to, and, okay? All right.
So finally, after like 5 or 6 panels of this fence have been removed, they finally step in, and I think they might have been waiting for a backup. I'm not exactly sure what was going on. There was a lot of them there, but there are a lot of protesters there, so I understand that it's probably a really difficult situation for the police officers in the first place, and more backup starts to come throughout the video. There's a lot of officers who come, but honestly, I have to say, this guy, he may seem like he's doing the right thing. He's like, "Oh yeah, I understand. I'm gonna leave," and yeah, that's good. That's good that that he left, but he's gonna say some real stupid stuff here in a second.
You've been warned. Thank you.
Okay, so this gentleman here has been invited to stop what he's doing. He was threatened that he would be arrested. You have elected to.
I have to go to work tonight, and I would rather not be arrested today.
Sure. Okay.
So I do work for the state, and I do need to protect my job and my family. So it's only duress and threat that I do stop, but I do believe in what we're doing.
Okay. Thank you.
Duress and threat. Only under duress and threat is he stopping. Let me read the definition of duress for you. Threats, violence, constraints, or other actions brought to bear on someone to do something against their will or better judgment. So, Yeah, technically you could say he was under threatened duress, but he's doing something stupid and illegal in the first place. So I'm pretty sure it doesn't count as threat or duress if a police officer simply walks up to you and kindly says, "Hey, I'm gonna have to ask you to stop what you're doing. If not, I am going to have to put you under arrest." There is no threat there. It's just you have the choice. You get to or you don't get to. And this guy, he's just like, "Oh, it's the police's fault. Yeah, the police are bullying me into leaving." No, you're just an idiot in the first place for being there at all. It's just, don't be dumb. Don't. These people shouldn't be allowed to have kids. Just saying.
Lawful assembly, and in the name of the people of the state of California, command all of those assembled inside this fence line to immediately disperse, which means break up the assembly. If you do not do so, you may be arrested or subject to police action. Other police action may include the use of lethal munitions, which could cause significant risk to injury. Again, please disperse from inside the fence line.
So now that backups arrived, they're finally telling people to get the hell out of there. Now, I don't know if this police officer was angry or if he was like kind of stressed or nervous, but he stuttered a lot there, and I feel bad for him because like even though I wasn't there, kind of took him less seriously as soon as he started stuttering. But I understand it's probably a really difficult situation for a police officer to be in, and just the whole thing is ridiculous, and I feel bad for these police officers having to be there. Yeah, they might injure you, but I would fucking hurt you. You honestly are such an idiot. Like, that guy kind of has this most whiny, like, I don't know where I've heard that voice before. Oh, I know. So, Cody Ko, if you don't know who he is, he's a YouTuber on the platform, a very funny YouTuber. God, there was a skit he was in, and he makes that exact same voice. And honestly, when I heard his voice the first time, I was so confused on like if that was him or not. I was like, "What the hell? Where have I heard this voice before?" But no, that guy has both a punchable face and a punchable voice. That guy, if I was a police officer, which thankfully I'm not because I would have been fired so quickly, I would have beat the shit out of this guy already.
So they have detained Alan Hostetter behind me.
Well, they consciously can, and they consciously are, my friend. Now, Alan Hostetter got released at 9:30. He does get arrested. It takes them a while to get him off that fence, because he's holding on pretty tight to that fence, but he was released at 9:30 a.m. the next day, and he makes himself out to be pretty much the victim on his Facebook. Also, by the way, do not go to this guy's Facebook and harass him at all, or any social media platform he may or may not have. I don't condone that stuff. But back to what I was talking about. This guy also threatens to bring a lawsuit to the Orange County Police Department for this situation. And it's pretty ridiculous. They don't talk about it here, but it's on his Facebook page. Which I did read through a little bit, but after a while I was like, yeah, this is a bunch of people who don't know what they're talking about, so...
Orders, you guys are unconstitutional. This is our property. We paid for it with city money. We pay taxes, you pay taxes. This is our fucking parking lot.
You hear that? We pay taxes, so that is our parking lot. Not a parking lot. Our parking lot. Communism.
The Orange County deputy presence is rather outstanding at this point. Protest organizer Alan Hostetter has been detained. You saw me interview a resident, Brian, earlier.
Chief!
behind me, they're taking off somebody else, arresting them.
To be completely honest, they should have arrested all of you a lot sooner. Also, she mentions that it's an overwhelming force of police officers there. Yeah, no wonder. There's an overwhelming force of people during a pandemic just hanging out, you know. And I think that this person is just an idiot. Earlier I just mentioned that she was like a reporter, but sorry about that. After that just dumb statement of, oh, an overwhelming force of officers, it's like, yeah, because there's an overwhelming force of you guys, just dummies. Dumb people thinking they're in the right because they think they can go wherever they want and just do whatever they want, even though the world is in a global pandemic causing people to lose their jobs, causing people to lose out on months worth of rent, causing people to lose their businesses because people aren't going to businesses.
USA! 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 USA!
Build the wall. I mean, USA.
Ma'am, have they read you your rights? No. Okay.
The pause that woman had means she's lying. Like, maybe they didn't read her rights, but she waited so long to respond. The lady walks up. Did these people read you your rights? No. Like, that was such a long pause for a simple yes or no answer. I think they did read her rights, and or they're going to read her rights, because as they were walking her, you can hear it. It's kind of quiet. It's very subtle. One of the officers asks if her ID is in her purse, so they probably have already had a lengthy conversation, or if not a lengthy conversation, they're going to have a lengthy conversation about why she's there and what she's doing.
It is domestic terrorism.
Well, here, then I'll hold it. Then I'll.
This is what he's getting arrested for.
Hold it. Oh, yeah.
No, it's intentional. Will you hold it, please? This is domestic.
It's domestic terrorism that police officers are arresting an individual and multiple individuals for breaking the law and going into a no trespassing area. On top of going into a no trespassing area, they start to dismantle a wall made of fences. Like, these people are so delusional. They think that they are being their rights are being violated. They think it's unconstitutional. It's domestic terrorism. And these are the same type of people who are out there being like, build the wall, fuck the gays, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And it's like, it's so ridiculous to me that these people think that this wall, this little fence that's keeping them out of the beach because they shouldn't be at the beach during a global pandemic, is unconstitutional and domestic terrorism. Oh yeah. And so she has the flag upside down. I don't know what the symbolism means there, but she does say it's intentional. You can hear her clearly say it, but that's what she's talking about. Someone asks her in the crowd, or they say, "Oh, it's upside down." And she's like, "Oh, it's intentional." So if anybody's gonna roast her, don't roast her on the intentional dumbassery.
Here, then I'll. 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 Here, then I'll.